Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers, another trip to the American Gaming Summit in Las Vegas, and he's got the rundown.
The numbers are down in Reno for gaming. Is it Indian gaming that's the problem? Today, Sam talks to Anthony Miranda from the Pechanga Corporation. They own Indian casinos. And then we talk to representatives from DP Partners, and they tell us why they can't do business near a brothel. Sam?
Thanks, Andy, and what a pundit panel today. Bilyeu, Marlene, Lockard, and Alfredo Alonso. It's all coming up next on the all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Catch a straight, dine at 8, lucky you. Lucky you. Dance till 1, have some fun, lucky you. Lucky you. Taste the shrimp, have a sip, try the pool, play it cool. At the Sienna Hotel Spa Casino, lucky you.
In business, the key to success is not the quantity of your clients, it's the quality of your clients. Almost all companies will tell you they want more sales, but what they really need are quality customers who pay their bills on time. With Employer Link's client vendor screening program, we provide comprehensive reports regarding the financial performance of your corporate prospects, customers, and vendors. Build your business with great clients and vendors. Call Employer Links today at 883-3733.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years. Call 882-1700 to see what we can do for your organization.
Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
Back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're joined by Anthony Miranda, who's one of the senior members of the Pechanga tribe down in San Diego in Temecula. And San Diego is now the third largest gaming market in the country, and you have a beautiful property, and I love staying there. So I'm going to say that right up front here.
Thank you very much.
In the area.
Appreciate that.
I wanted to ask you, what has Pechanga done for the tribe? How have they benefited from this Indian gaming?
Well, our tribal members have benefited in a lot of ways. We provide for 100% health care. We provide for dental, vision, and overall health care. We have life insurance on our members now, with things that they didn't have before. We also pay for education for our members. So if they want to get an advanced degree, we sent one member to golf school, culinary school, and we have numerous tribal members getting their college education.
So this is beyond just employment at the casino?
Just beyond employment. We also employ 3,000 people, and any tribal member that wants a job essentially has a job.
Okay, what has your impact been on the community? How have you interacted?
We have reached out to the local community and woven ourselves into the fiber of the community, just like we did before, but now we have the opportunity to help. We reach out to the local Boys and Girls Club. We sponsor a major fundraiser at our facility every year. It has about 900 people that attend. They have an auction. They raise, I think last year they raised $250,000. We help sponsor that event. We reach out to the Little Leagues. We sponsor the Little Leagues. We also we have 5 high schools in the area. We give each high school every year $50,000 for them to spend on how they choose. We actually have people that have benefited from scholarships from those funds that are sending letters back to our tribe thanking us for the scholarships that we provided for.
What happened during the fires?
During the fires, we had several tribes burn out. We had our own people within the community that were burned out. We opened our doors to our hotel. We had about 900 people stay there for 2 weeks. We housed them and we fed them for 2 weeks.
Governor Schwarzenegger in office wants to raise up a lot of money in tax money from tribal gaming. What are your thoughts on the governor and where he's heading with this?
Well, certainly Governor Schwarzenegger, what he put into his budget was $500 million. Whether or not, he'll be able to raise that amount remains to be seen. That depends on how many tribes are in negotiations. Right now, there are 7 tribes that have entered into negotiations with the governor. Revenue share is one of the topics that's being discussed. What comes out of that remains to be seen, but I think it's positive to say that both the tribes and the governor are sitting down and talking and working out these issues.
Okay, well, that's an important point. We're going to take a break. We'll come right back after this on Nevada Newsmakers.
Atlantis is cooking up a party. It's every diner's paradise. Toucan Charlie's Buffet and Grill, voted Reno's best buffet by locals year after year. Experience the Mongolian barbecue, new Asian station, and sumptuous exhibition stations filled with fresh entrees, salads, and desserts. Try the Friday night seafood buffet and Sunday champagne brunch. Atlantis!
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at DeAndrea is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South DeAndrea Parkway in Sparks.
Back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers with Anthony Miranda. He's one of the senior members of the Pechanga tribe down in Temecula, California, in Southern California. You spoke in your presentation about diversification for the tribe. And it's interesting because in Northern Nevada, that has been the mantra now for probably the last 20 years, as we've seen that gaming is no longer going to be the key thing for Northern Nevada, and we've been quite successful at it. What areas are you looking to diversify into?
Well, Pechanga is looking at diversifying in numerous areas. We're looking at building batting cages and like a kids park, golf course, spa facilities, all things that have a synergistic effect to our core business, which is gaming. We're not the only tribe that's looking at diversification. Sequan down in Southern California, or down in San Diego, Alpine, they're in El Cajon. They actually bought a golf course, Singing Hills Golf Course, and they also recently purchased the U.S. Grant, which is a hotel, a very famous hotel in downtown San Diego. So a lot of tribes are looking to diversify their economies to help stabilize income for their own governments.
Okay, now this is going to sound like an off-the-wall question, but are you looking at expansion in the future to where you might even come into Nevada and open casinos?
I don't think tribes have reached that point yet. Some have talked about it, but I don't think we're at that point.
Well, it's obviously a very successful project so far, and from your staff, they're telling me that there's a lot of growth coming.
Yes.
Do you expect to double in size in the next few years?
Well, certainly we're under expansion right now, and we're looking at, we'll probably be at 4,000 employees here within the next year and a half. So we are getting bigger. We have to serve our market, and that's what we're doing.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Much,
Let's talk to you again.
Appreciate it.
All right. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
Allegra is Northern Nevada's #1 offset printing and digital copying facility.
From disc to destination, Allegra utilizes tomorrow's technology today. We specialize in booklets, catalogs, manuals, newsletters, stationery, and envelopes.
Xerox, Docutech, 4-color printing with Heidelberg Speedmaster, desktop publishing and design, graphic services, pickup and delivery.
If you need printing, Allegra can do it. From disc to destination.
To experience the royal cuisine of India, you need some serious magic or simply transport yourself to India Garden, right here in Reno, where you'll discover Indian specialties refined over centuries. Seekh kebab, tandoori dishes cooked in our own tandoor oven, biryani specialties, curries, fresh-baked Indian bread, over a dozen vegetarian dishes, even dishes rare to India like dosa, South Indian-style crepes. India Garden off South Virginia near Sports West. We are India.
Back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
Back on Nevada Newsmakers, we've been telling you over the last couple of weeks a story about Story County, where the county is in deep financial trouble, mainly because of a sales tax shift that ended up in Washoe County instead of Story County, and also problems between some of the clients at the business park in Story County and Lance Gilman, who was one of the salespeople for that business park and owners, who built a brothel there. From DP Partners, Aaron Paris is here, and his consultant is Don Gibbons with a company called Politic Consulting. Forgive me there. Welcome to both of you. Prostitution is legal in Story County, as it is in every county in the state of Nevada except for Washoe and Clark.
And Carson.
And Carson. What's the problem?
Well, there's not a problem with brothels being legal. That's not the issue at all. In fact, the businesses support having the brothels in Story County. They just don't support it being right next door to the largest industrial park in the world. And quite frankly, they bring more money in than brothels. The brothel brings in about $120,000 a year in taxes, and the businesses bring in $300,000 to $400,000 a year. Because the brothel is located just adjacent to the business park, now we have had a trouble getting new people to come in and lease, which has hurt Story County. Because if we'd had more businesses come in, like Cabela's was one, and I was just talking to someone who meets with Cabela's every time they come. They looked at that property, but corporate office said, "Ooh, brothel." It was just shocking to them.
Well, but I mean,
huge income.
I want to play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
It used to be the Mustang Ranch was one exit away from this park. I mean, is there really that much of a difference between one exit away and certainly the argument?
Yes, now it's the same exit.
Okay. No, I understand that, but I'm just saying, is there that much difference between same exit, one exit over, if they're not actually sitting next to each other? And the other point that you raised, which I'd have to disagree with, is just because one business doesn't make as much money and pay as much taxes doesn't mean to say it shouldn't have the right to be there.
But, in 2001, Lance Gilman and his representatives came before the Government Affairs Committee in the Senate and the Assembly.
At the legislature.
And testified. And of course, I have a copy of the testimony. I'll be happy to provide it for you. And giving assurance to Senator Raggio, who is chairman, and Assemblyman Dini, that there would not be any brothel located near the business park, nor near the exit, using the same exit. And that was very and on the record.
Was that binding?
Yes. Well, I mean, it's a public record, and they testified to being truthful.
Aaron, the testimony given before a legislative committee is, of course, falls under the same thing as sworn testimony. And so basically this could constitute a verbal contract. Are you going to sue him? Are you going to go to court over this?
Well, we've been through the Supreme Court, and the issues we were raising were both zoning and licensing. The Supreme Court has ruled that since the licensing of brothels is a more restrictive law, that takes precedence over zoning. And they remanded the case back to the lower court, saying they have to redo the licensing. If it is a more restrictive case, they have to follow all the rules.
According to Mr. Gilman, this was because they wanted a personal financial audit. The way that they had it set up, it was almost impossible for anybody to comply, and the county has since changed that. So that there's a somewhat looser regulation on that.
It goes to a little more than that. The original application was applied for, I believe the year was 2001, and Mr. Gilman responded after he retracted that application that brothels have no place next to corporate business. And a year later when he applied, he used the same financial statement, and we know his financial situation changed. So whether it be audited or unaudited, it was untruthful. It also, through mistakes in the way they presented it, said he was worth $15 billion, which is not true. So it's not just a matter of was it audited or not. Was it correct or not? And there were other issues
So
with that.
sloppy county procedures.
Well, did
Call
the
it whatever you want. I mean, it was not, the number given was not truthful. But I want to talk about two other things, if you don't mind. The number by our businesses and taxes is over $1 million a year. Each one is paying about $300,000 in taxes for, annually. So it is quite a big number. But one thing I can tell you, I work nationally for DP Partners. And the site selection process by national companies is a very rigorous process. But in truth, it is site elimination. They will come up with any reason they can to say, no, this site is no good, we're going to go over here, as raised by Don Cabela's. They're looking at multiple sites in northern Nevada.
Have they ruled out northern Nevada at this point?
I have no idea. I'm not involved in that.
So that's a maybe argument at this point, then?
We hope not. We'll go after him.
No, of course.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, I visited a Fortune 100 company that has been a client of ours for over 20 years in their corporate offices, and they told us point blank, they will not go next to a brothel. So you can imagine an East Coast executive who's bringing a company here, and that's what we're all about, is bringing companies to northern Nevada. That's what this industrial park is. That's what the testimony was all about.
Which Mr. Gilman is part owner of, and he says that he's got about a dozen different clients that are pending right now to come to the business park.
Well,
so obviously,
he's had dozens all the time. We have brought...
But I mean, his track record is pretty good. The South Meadows Business Park has been one of the most successful business parks ever in North Nevada.
But I'd like you to look at who our clients are there. We have brought real clients, real jobs, probably to the tune of 600 to 1,000 real jobs to Story County. They are there, they are in our properties, and this was part of our development. So, and we have put into action everything that was supposed to be. And to bring forth a brothel in that location, which will do nothing more than hurt the companies coming there. We were promised that brothel would be in a box canyon and not seen from I-80. You have to be blind not to see it from I-80.
Let me just make one comment here, and you can have a quick response to it. Dick Gamick on the show, our district attorney, said that he would like to see legalized prostitution in Washoe and Clark counties because of the amount of illegal prostitution that exists and the problems that go along with that. A quick response.
Well, we're not against legalized prostitution because, it's Nevada.
Just not in my neighborhood.
Well, and I think, there's honor in testimony and politics and the legislative process, and Mr. Gilman has built another industrial park, and it has a different exit, and it's huge. And he didn't locate the brothel next to his area where he wanted to do business. He did it next to the area that Mr. Dermody is doing business.
Do you just want the exit?
Andy, I'm sorry, Andy, we'll come back to this, but we're out of time. Thank you both for being here. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
Thank you.
Before you head to Carson, take care of yourself with a visit to Tamarack Junction. Catch a hot cup of coffee and the morning news on one of our 32 TVs and enjoy the best food in South Reno. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
The Abowd family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Your home is an expression of all things comforting and familiar. For custom storage, you can count on California Closets to provide quality, value, and design integrity. The process is easy, combining your personal style with our organizing expertise. We care about what matters most to you, making your home functional and beautiful. California Closets, simplifying home and life since 1978. Call today for your complimentary design consultation.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo Free Checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Make your daily commute easy with breakfast or lunch at the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy daily specials, super fast service, and South Reno's freshest morning meals. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers here. Another calm day at the office. Alfredo, Alonso on our pundit panel today. We also have Marlene, Lockard, and Bilyeu. Welcome to all of you. Bill, try to restrain yourself today, okay?
Hello.
Last appearance was a little... Okay,
I like it.
You get to start.
Thank you. This is Thursday. Saturday is the Democratic caucus. I'd like a quick idea from each of you. Who do you think the Democrats will go for here in Nevada? I'll start with you, Alfredo.
Oh, I think Kerry is the man to beat at this point. I don't see Edwards doing it.
Marlene?
I think Kerry's got the momentum, and it'll probably carry through, but I think it'll be fun to see the Dean supporters and if they turn out and if they hang in there with Dean.
Yeah, it's going to be Kerry, I'm pretty sure. But it might be interesting.
Yeah. I understand the Democrats are really energized this year. I'm hearing that people who are Republicans are changing their registration and going with the Democrats, and they're going to be showing up at these caucuses. Well, that's true, everybody. Yeah, right. Really.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah.
We've got a big tent.
All right, okay, let's move along here. We're not going to sit here in silence.
And the Republicans, by the way, are March the 20th, I believe, is their caucus. Is that right, Bill?
And don't write Dennis Kucinich off yet. Okay, I want to talk about this brothel issue here. What do you make of this? I mean, you know, this is the Silver State. We've had plenty of people here on the pundit panel already who say that they come from rural areas in the state, that brothels happily coexist in their communities. You know, what's the deal here?
I think it's a simple issue of misplaced priorities by Story County. I think, like any municipality, when it grows up a little bit, it understands that there are certain places where these things go. You don't put a strip club just anywhere. You don't put it across the street from a school. You don't put it in front of a business that may hurt its business or hurt. I mean, folks have opinions about every issue.
Right now.
Absolutely, and I think at the end of the day, Story County has to decide whether they want to have a business park or simply not have any zoning laws, and I think that's very important.
But don't the owners of the business park have any say in this? And Gilman is one of the owners of the business park.
Yeah, but I think the issue is that Mr. Gilman's confused as to what he wants to do there. I think it's hurting his business. There's no doubt that anyone from the Bible Belt that's got a corporate business is not going to look at.
Are they coming to Nevada, the capital of drinking, gambling, dancing?
That's not how we're marketing ourselves.
They're going to go to Gardnerville.
What happens here stays here. That's how we're marketing ourselves to the whole country.
That is not how economic development is marketing us.
Right, but you know what?
To other businesses.
They're watching the other commercials.
Jump in here and tell them to be quiet.
Prostitution in the state of Nevada is defined as a nuisance, and it is up to the counties to make the option as to whether or not to bait that nuisance, if you will. It's only prohibited in counties of a population of over 100,000, which means Clark and Washoe counties. So it is defined as a nuisance, and so prostitution before the days of Joke and 40 in Nevada was a nice little quiet business. Everything was regulated. Everything. Prostitutes weren't even permitted to go on the streets during daylight hours. They were very much restricted. And now it's kind of now moved into the realm of big business. I mean, my God, you're putting houses of prostitution.
Well, they've got all this competition from free people, you know. Listen, I want to ask you a question.
There must be some irony in putting a house of prostitution in an industrial park. I don't know.
Well, listen, you're an attorney. You're an attorney. You tell me, if somebody goes before a legislative committee and says, I'm not going to do this and thus, I'm going for a license and I'm not going to open up a brothel, does that not constitute sort of a verbal contract?
Well, I'm not sure if it was a contract. It's too bad they weren't sworn, so it would be perjury.
Aren't you automatically sworn when you testify before? Because there's now signs up there saying you're automatic, that according to NRS.
Yeah, supposedly, but that is not observed very often.
Okay,
and just to add to that, that's twice that Story County has gone before the legislature. When that road and bridge was first built, they also indicated this is going to be simply a business park. We are getting away from brothels. We want to grow up and be part of the community.
They never got rid of the idea of having 3 brothel licenses. They still have one more available.
No, but they did not want to do it.
Okay, let's move on. I want to talk about the casino numbers that came out and the doom and gloom that we keep hearing from the media, and I think it's the way they write the stories and they perceive the issues. Because we had Mark Falcone on the show from the Gaming Summit saying that he had very strong and positive thoughts about Northern Nevada gaming. Now, when I look at numbers, even though over the past 3 years, if you add up all the percentage drops, it's been about 12% that we've seen drop off. That is not a huge amount, and it's not that the casinos are losing money, it's that they're just not making as much money. In my mind, Marlene, doesn't that mean that with the right kind of marketing, the right kind of incentives, that they can bring that business right back up again?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head, that it's really a marketing issue, and I found his comments very interesting and thought that the folks that are doing the Northern Nevada marketing ought to sit back and take another look and see what they can do to tie into some of the issues that he mentioned and capitalize on those issues.
Yeah, I agree. I think we live in a beautiful area. I think this area has more to offer than most tourist areas. Frankly, I think our problem is probably we're not marketing it correctly. We're not. There's no capital investment as there should be. I think the folks in Reno tend to want a no growth attitude. I think you can't have that if you want to prosper. And I think it has to be managed. But we have to entice people to come in and create better gaming properties and perhaps I think in the future, if we start looking at it in the way Mark looks at it, I think we could obviously significantly better. And frankly, if I were gambling, I wouldn't go to Thunder Mountain. I'd come to Reno.
Well, you know, and I look at it and I go, $1.3 billion last year, $1.1 billion this year of gaming win, not counting alcohol, not counting food, not counting room revenues. That's still a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
So I have faith in our gaming industry. I think we're going to be fine.
I do too.
I want a last word on this?
Yeah, well, no, we're out of time.
Well, no, you've got 20 seconds.
20 seconds, real fast. Will the president's idea to have a constitutional amendment on marriage pass? Let's just quickly.
I think it's
yes or no?
Yes or no?
I think yes.
No.
Maybe.
Now we're out of time.
Geez.
We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers.
It's America's largest historical district, and it's fun for the entire family. Virginia City is where the West comes alive every day, from train rides to gunslingers. Your gang can explore mines and interesting museums, visit historic saloons, and do some great shopping. Virginia City is the ultimate in family entertainment, and it's very affordable. Come up and stay overnight in our hotels, motels, and RV park. Virginia City, the Wild West at its best.
I tell you, John, this industry has really changed.
Tell me about it.
You seem to do pretty well last year. What's your secret?
No secrets. Although I'll tell you something. The smartest thing I did was sign up with Pro Group Management.
Really? Yeah, they do workers' comp, right?
Yeah, their services are great. And get this, they saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
That works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you. Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
And on Monday, a very special President's Day show.
And don't forget, you can hear all of the shows, all 4 episodes each week on KOH Sunday mornings from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and also the reruns on Channel 12 at 9:30 p.m. See you then.
Thank you for watching.